Welcome back to the Omina podcast.
Hello. Yay.
We're so glad that you're here again. We wanted to talk today about sisterhood, about real sisterhood. What does this actually mean about female friendships? We wanted to dive in a little bit deeper into that topic because we feel like this is super important. And I feel like sisterhood is a word that we hear everywhere right now in a way. But what does this actually mean in real life? Because yes, sisterhood can feel so beautiful and supportive, but it can also be triggering and challenging and sometimes even painful. And we really want to open up this conversation today to talk about it. Like, what is real sisterhood? And what does it feel like for us as well? Not just the soft parts at the end of the day, like the beautiful parts, also the uncomfortable parts. And Anna, I would love for you to start a little bit because you were like, girl, I feel like I want to talk about sisterhood today because you just came from Copenhagen from a beautiful wedding from one of your best friends, right? So maybe you want to share a little bit how it came up for you.
Yeah. First of all, so happy to be here again with you week after week and that we're doing this podcast. And
Yeah.
I think when I think of sisterhood, we've been creating it as well, right? The past year. I know it's one of your goals for your year. It's also one of my goals to have community and sisterhood. And I think it's so important to talk about what do you actually like, what is sisterhood and what's community and what do you actually need in order to make it work, right? So
Exactly.
yeah, the topic why I wanted to talk about it was also, yes, like just coming from, a big community gathering, I would say, of my old friends or still my friends, and realizing like everybody, is living their life and you're now coming together. How
Mm-hmm.
great that is and how challenging that also can be, and like how it's important to prioritize, right? To say, hey, we're prioritizing connection, and that also means open communication. Right? That
Oh
doesn't
my
mean
God, yes.
everything is fine and okay and good, but it means, hey, I'm going to speak my mind if something doesn't work for me. I'm going to also compromise. I'm going to also check in with others. I'm going to say if I don't feel well. So it's just a topic that I like to talk about, and I think it's a big
Mm-hmm.
topic. So that's the gist of it, I would say.
Yeah, I feel this so much because, as you said, like for us in general, it's like a year of sisterhood. Or in general, I really always had this dream to create sisterhood, and now I'm at a stage in my life where I truly feel that I found sisters that I connect with, like really from a heart and a soul level that get me and my weird side, my silly side, also my side that maybe is like, not always so beautiful
Of
and is
course. Yeah.
triggered or it can be emotional, but they are holding me. And also like from the other side, hey, we are there for each other in the good, but also in the bad. This year is really for me somehow a dream come true, like to feel this sisterhood that I always crave, like living together with my people somehow. It's so beautiful, and also the spaces that we create, right? Like with the girls together. And in these spaces, and also now, yeah, it can also be challenging to live together, right? Even though you love each other, but it's always a bit more of a, I would say, work somehow to be with people because there are gonna be other opinions, there are other emotions, all these things. And okay, how are you managing this together, right? I think this is a huge point. So it is so, so beautiful to have sisterhood. But what does this actually mean,
Yeah.
right? It's also work. And it's also saying, hey, you know what? We can meet each other in the middle. I don't need to go all in with my opinion, or we need to do this exactly what I want right now. We can also meet each other in the middle. It's okay. Maybe today we're going to do what you want, and the next day we're going to do what I want, or something like that, right? And it's so beautiful as well to make compromises. I really fall in love again and again, like with making compromises, because it's so easy to not be triggered if you are alone with yourself, but to come together and to go through highs and lows together it's just so powerful. It's so powerful.
Yeah. I love what you said there in the last sentence of like it's so easy to not be triggered
Yeah.
when you're not in active community or when you're not in active relations with others, right? And I think there is a big, I would say a big spiritual belief also that I need to heal myself or I need to, figure out things by myself before I can go into relations. And I don't even mean, just romantic relationships, but I just mean in general relationships.
Yes.
And I think that's actually exactly the opposite. Like, I think you can achieve a lot of transformation in your person, like as yourself, being in
Mm-hmm.
community, being in relationships, right? And I
Yes.
think it is more work. There is more closeness for sure as a result of it. But I would love to go back a little because I think for a lot of people who are listening, they think, wow, sisterhood, it sounds great. Like, I would love to have that. But can you maybe, Vanessa, talk a little bit more about, you had this dream of creating sisterhood? Like,
Mm-hmm.
how did you make that happen for yourself in your life?
Yeah, this is actually a very good question, to be honest. I think for me personally, I always felt I wanted to like break out a little bit and do something different, like travel the world and live like a more free lifestyle. And that also meant for me to leave friends behind because I knew my friends back then, they just had other values and other priorities in life, and I just lived a completely different life than I imagined my life to be. So it was also not always very easy because this path, first of all, was also kind of lonely because I needed to first go alone and explore and go out there to find also people who are on same path that I am. It doesn't mean that I don't love my friends anymore from back then. I love them and I'm still in contact. It's just that we don't see each other that much in person. We try to keep in touch, of course, like to call each other and to make our friendship still be alive. But it's just like that our lives are now super different and you still want to have sisters in like, that in the physical world, like together. So I went on traveling, and it was through also how we met, like through things that I loved. We met on a Bitcoin event. We are both interested in finances and investments and stuff. So I always went to things that I loved to do and try to connect with people over there. And it somehow naturally worked out. I felt always like, okay, the people somehow came into my life. Also, then really taking action at the end of the day as well and saying, you know what? I'm gonna create a space where I invite people who have the same vision, who also want to create sisterhood and to feel this. So inviting girls into the villa, for example, creating the space where we can explore and connect on another level because we knew, okay, we're gonna have the same interests, right? So yeah, I would say this is how I did it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I would love to touch upon that because I think you said something so important. It's like
Mm-hmm.
at some point you go from searching for it to
Yeah.
creating it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that
Yes.
makes such a big difference. I think I was also all of my life searching for it, right? Like searching for the community, like the people that I want to hang
Yes.
around with. And then you say at
Mm-hmm.
some point, okay, I will create it. I will create my niche because there is a spot on this planet for everyone, and
Yes.
like for your people. So you're going to attract the people
Exactly.
as well.
Yeah, I think so too. When you also like connected with yourself and what you want, you radiate out this energy and the people will come to you. But it's
Exactly.
also going
Going
towards
it.
someone
Yeah.
and just say, hey, you know what? You look absolutely gorgeous. Or in the yoga class, wow, your practice is stunning. And then you connect and maybe you go out for a coffee, whatever, or the next yoga class together. This is so simple, but it works.
One of my mentors always said,
Yeah,
the universe only responds to action. I think that's a big one, right? So
such a big one.
some things it's like I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, It's gonna come, it's gonna flow, it's gonna, and to a certain extent, you have to let it go and flow, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but also at some extent, you're gonna be like, what's my dream life? What do I want to create? What do I want to manifest? Let me go and do that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Um,
And also, what I want to touch up on, because this is okay, more again, like on the beautiful side, right? Of female friendships, finding people who you are aligned with. But I think in general, there is also a lot of comparison, jealousy, and disconnection in this world, in also female friendships, for example. And how did you experience this in your life so far?
Thank you for touching upon that. I think it's important to talk about
Yeah.
because I think a lot of people can resonate that maybe from traumatic school experiences with girls, young girls, or your friends that you were bullied or that you weren't accepted by your group of friends. I mean, I know a lot of people who have really traumatic experiences, women to women or girls to girls. So I
Yeah.
think it's very important to talk about. I would say for my life, I have struggled with female relationships a lot. Also,
Mhm.
like I've lost friends over the years. I've also really people pleased to have friendships. I think that's also something in the beginning you said, you need to know and connect to yourself. I think that's the first step. And then you go into community. It's very important because
Mhm.
otherwise you're just a little fan in the wind, right?
Yeah, you will
You're going to go
always
wherever
go
the
with
wind blows.
like someone who says what to do, and but
Exactly.
it's probably not what you want at the end of the day. Or
Exactly.
yeah, or if you don't want it, you do it
And
anyways to
and
fit in and to be liked, right? To belong to someone, to a
exactly.
friend group, for example, right?
Exactly. And I think especially for women and girls, when you're at that age, like you have
Mhm.
a lot of, if you're lucky enough, you have a lot of women friendships, right? It usually starts with that girl friendships, girlhood.
Yeah.
Then you become friends more with guys, usually. Like sometimes it's different.
This is a whole
So
nother
yeah,
topic, friendships with men.
yeah, exactly. For another day.
But yeah, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think for me personally, what I've realized also over the years is that there is always the possibility to compare, right?
Mhm.
Especially when comparing with women. And it's so easy to follow into that track, right?
Mhm. Where
So
do you
easy.
think does it come from?
I think it does have something to do with, I mean, I don't know, to be honest. It's a very good question. I think it does have something to do with the socialization
Mhm.
that we were always we grew up comparing ourselves to others, but also to the
Yeah.
women in magazines. And, if you just go down that road, and I'm not saying men didn't have this growing up, but women, a lot of the time with their bodies and their images and
Mhm.
their social status. And so there is a lot of that, right? And I think it still comes in. And even though, you have your greatest girlfriends around, you know, we're all human. The comparing
Yeah.
starts, you have those thoughts. And I think it's important to
Yes.
talk about it being like, just because you have close friendships doesn't mean, you love them all the time,
No.
every day.
I mean,
You
for
start to
example,
compare.
yeah, I
You're
mean, for
triggered.
example, also like we can also say our example, right? We also had moments where we're like, this is triggering here right now, where we also had like a little, yeah, crumbles in our way. But I think this is where it comes to like real sisterhood, real friends, where you are at that point where you really take the courage to sit together and talk about it, even though it's triggering and painful and maybe surrounded by shame, and it is gonna be a hard conversation and you maybe hurt someone, but it's super important, right?
It's so
And you will
important. Yeah.
come out so much stronger at the end of the day.
I think conflict is really the basis of connection. And we've been taught in the society that we don't see conflict. But what if conflict actually builds intimacy,
Oh
with your
my God.
friends,
Yes.
yes, but also with your lovers, right?
Yeah,
So
both.
I think I was always taught, oh, this is wrong. And if you're fighting, but like actually, no, like speaking your mind, saying what's on your mind. At
Mm-hmm.
least for me, that has been my practice over the years,
Yeah.
right?
I think it's really practicing it like every day, again and again. Really checking in. Are you holding back right now for harmony, or are you speaking the truth no matter what at the end of the day, right? Even though it might, hurt someone, or
Yeah.
it can be a conflict. But I think it's, as you said, super important to speak it out.
So I have this practice because
Mm-hmm.
I'm a people pleaser, recovering. I love harmony,
Same.
right? We love harmony. Harmony is great.
Mm,
Harmony is,
yes.
we love it. But you can ask yourself, and I love this, is like, am I in service of harmony or am I in service of the truth? And your feelings for that moment, because you're feeling it, it is there, it's your truth. Doesn't mean the other person will agree with that truth,
Mm,
right? The other person might say, well, I don't agree. For me, this is what I think, feel, and see. And you can say,
mm-hmm.
well, this is what I think, feel, and see.
Yeah.
But I realized once I asked myself that question and I was like, oh, wow, I'm in service of harmony and not in service of truth. Like it changed a lot. I said, okay, what I feel, see, and believe is my truth and
Yes.
it's valid, right?
Yeah.
And I can, there is a way how to say it, how to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And there was also a way of accepting the other, right? It's not about right or wrong, but if you can really meet there, it's so beautiful. It goes so much deeper. And I think I also have this practice that when I'm in a situation and I feel like, oh my God, I need support. And then I will just say, hey, dear universe, help me with this,
Yes. Yes.
because I can't do it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it by myself. I can't, speak my truth right now. It feels too dangerous. But if you
Mm-hmm.
ask for help in that moment, just in a quiet little prayer or a quiet little statement, usually for me it helps. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So would you say this is your recommendation, for example, for someone who is in a state of this right now, in a friendship that feels like there is a lot of comparison, jealousy creeping up? Like, what would you recommend to do in these type of situations? Because I also have friends, they open up to me like, friendships sometimes feel also very draining, and I have a friend who's very negative, and how should I deal with it? Should I communicate it? I don't want to hurt her feelings, but I also need to take care of my energy. I feel like it's always so negative and it's always about her and never about me. Nobody's asking questions. What should I do at
Yeah.
the end of the day? What should I do?
Really good question. So I think to your first point of the question with the judgment and the
Yes.
comparison, I think if you have that foundation with a friend, where you can talk about it openly and you can say, hey, this is nothing against you, but in this situation, I'm comparing myself. And
Mm-hmm.
speak of the impact. The impact it is having is that I feel less connected to you. And I don't want that. I want to be closer to you. I want to be connected.
Yes.
And I had this conversation with somebody actually recently, who had a child. And it was such an important time in her life, right? Having her
Mm-hmm.
first child. And
Yes.
I wasn't able to be there because I compared myself, right? I was like, oh, like, I don't have this and I don't have that and I don't have, I'm not going in this path right now.
Yeah.
And actually speaking about it, being like, you know what, like, I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. These were the reasons.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
These were the reasons. And it was a beautiful conversation. It was a really open hearted conversation because I also said, these are the reasons, but I don't want this anymore. I want us to be closer. I want us to be supportive of each other,
Yeah.
regardless of the life situation or, life situation we are in. Right.
This is so important what you just said. And I think this is in general just like, speaking and using your voice, even though you don't know the outcome. But if it's a true sister, she will understand and you will figure it out together. And if she doesn't, this is also a sign at the end of the day. I know, like, letting go of sisters is super hard. Oh my God. Like, it's sometimes, for me personally, it felt even more painful than losing a boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. The love between you is so different and it can hurt you in so deep layers. that I truly understand it.
Yeah.
But also here, finding your strength and your power as well, and really asking yourself, is this giving me energy or is this taking energy from me, right? Because there are people, you are with them together and you feel energized and you can speak for hours and hours and hours and you get inspired. And then there are other friends, I would say, or people you meet that draining your energy. And really listen to your body here, like, oh my God, what is coming up there? And then really asking yourself, is this what you want at the end of the day, right? And even though that means maybe that you need to let go of someone and be alone for a period of time, but you will never gonna be alone forever, and you will find someone that aligns with you. And but sometimes it's just like stepping over the little fear, right?
Yeah.
And speaking up, and then life surprises you at the end of the day with
Yeah.
someone you haven't like thought about yet,
Can you talk about, like, have you ever had to let a friend, girlfriend go? And if so, can you talk about that experience for you, how you managed it? Because it is a very hard situation, I can imagine.
Yeah. So I think it's more about that the friendship then faded a little bit. It wasn't like, okay, we are not friends anymore. It was more a natural process, I would say, of not being in contact all the time anymore. And with more and more time, the spans in between texts or, seeing each other were longer and longer and longer. And then it just faded away somehow. So that was more like an easier way actually of letting go. But I also had conversations with a friend that were a bit more challenging, I would say, was last year. And it was because I imagined my life to be different that time, or like 2 years ago. And I was like, okay, I'm going to live on Mallorca and all these things. But it changed my feeling over that. And I needed to explore the world more. And our friendship then changed because we met when we had the same vision and we wanted to stay in Mallorca and have the stable life over there. And we were, flowing with each other and it was so beautiful. But then I took a bit of another turn and yeah, I think I hurt her with that like a lot as well. And I also been like through a rough time in that period. So I couldn't be there for her as much and as she needed at that time. So we had like also conversations about that we just need some time for ourselves and to explore like what we want. And it wasn't easy. And we said, you know what, sometimes you meet someone and it's beautiful for a period of time and then you go separate ways again. And maybe at another time, your paths are crossing again. And it's so beautiful because now that I'm here, for example, we have so much more contact again and our friendship is starting to build again in like a different level. And it's so interesting. But sometimes really like these challenging conversations can hurt. And first, okay, you need to let go of it a little bit so it can get better again.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to let go of the control as well and then just let it be, and everyone is somehow doing their thing. And I also, went for it and traveled and wanted to explore. And yeah, now we are starting to rebuild this friendship again, and it feels so beautiful from just another level and another level of honesty and also another level of understanding.
That's really beautiful. And I think
Yeah.
it's like sometimes you need that, right? To go out to come
Yes.
back in together. And
Yes.
I've
Yes.
also heard from people who've really had to cut friendships, and it's so painful. It really is.
Oh,
But as you said, it opens you up for something new. If you've
yeah,
evolved, like we're always here to evolve, then,
exactly.
you know, that's gonna open you for new friendships.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And what would you say makes you feel safe, like with another woman in a relationship? What is important to you in a female friendship?
Mhm. Thank you for asking that. That's a really good question. I would say for me, it's always am I safe to
Mm.
express my feelings, emotions, and thoughts?
Mhm.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Am I safe there? Because safety means will what I say not be held against me, you
Mhm.
know? Will what I say be understood or asked questions, not just being defensive, you know?
Mhm. Yes.
And that for me is so, so, so important. And
Mhm.
also, I just, over the years, I've realized I need a certain type of depth in my relationships. Some people
Yes.
don't need that, and that's fine, you know?
Yeah.
But I need it. So if we're gonna be friends and we keep talking about how great everything is and we have no problems, we have the best life, then I'm like, you know, really
Yeah.
though? Really? But some people are okay with that. They wanna be on the surface and wanna be in the happy zone, and I don't mind, blame them at all. But
Yeah.
for me, I realized I need depth, and that means
Yeah.
also opening up, talking about hard things, talking about vulnerable things. Like, I love to talk to women about finances, it's a vulnerable thing.
Yes.
I love to talk, to women about making career moves or social media or
Mhm.
having problems with men or dates or anything, basically, female
Yeah.
sexuality. I think it's so important to have close relationships in this
Mhm.
area. And I think what I've also learned over the years is that not every woman you will have for every topic, right? I know I
Oh,
have my girl
yes.
for
This is
this,
a
I have
huge
my
one,
girl for this.
actually.
Yeah, don't put the pressure on somebody who doesn't want that type of pressure, you know?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I have my woman for this, my woman for that. I know I can ask this person for here. And if I don't have somebody for a certain topic, I will look for a woman.
Yes.
Don't be afraid. Like, when you feel like, oh, I want a different life, I want to be self-employed. Look for somebody first in your friend group who is self-employed, who's an entrepreneur. If there is nobody, go to a conference where you can find entrepreneurs.
Exactly. And look there
And
for, yeah, expand. Oh my God. Yeah, this is so huge. Yeah, I just needed to switch on the lights because I don't know. Now my forehead is glowing, but it's
yeah,
okay.
you look good, girl.
Yeah, just we had just the sunset here in Bali because of the time difference. It's a little bit different, but we make it happen either way. But yeah, thank you, my love. I totally feel you with like the depth. I think this is also a point that I always craved and I always was searching for in my female relationships. And when I was younger, I did have beautiful friendships, beautiful, also with depth. But I think I was looking for a bit more. And this is also why I think I needed to break out and like go and explore the world and go on this a little bit more spiritual path at the end of the day to find people who connect on this level with me and to speak about these topics as well. And I also had a talk about this with Anna as well, like about depth in a relationship. And but I think it's also super important to be able to have both because depth can also be a lot sometimes. So balancing this, like having also the lightness, because having always like these meaningful, deep conversations, so amazing. But sometimes it's also just nice to just be insane and you don't analyze everything and like go deep into your traumas and all these things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I think depth sometimes gets confused with like seriousness, you know?
Yes,
I
yes,
need to be
yes.
serious all the time. Like, we need
Yeah,
to be going, doing, being actively something all the time.
yeah.
Like, the best conversations I've had with friends was after, you know, a belly laugh, after we were laughing about something so insane,
Yes,
or
yes.
after doing something so funny and jilly. And like, I think, yeah, you're right. I think, but the older you get, it does get harder because you have like less time with everything going on between
Mm-hmm.
friendships,
Yeah,
kids and families and everything. But
yes.
if you can create this like moment of connection through experiences or through being silly together, it's so
Mm,
great. Yeah.
yeah, totally. And then it's really also about like creating what you also said, safety in the relationship. So you feel seen from the other person and it's balanced. So it's not only one person is taking everything from you. It's like you're gonna have a bad day, but she's showing up for her, and then she has a bad day, you are showing up for her. So it's like balanced out, really balancing, yeah, the relationship, feeling safe and seen, holding each other. And also, what's so important, celebrating each other.
Yeah.
Celebrating each other's wins like crazy, because out there is so much elbow to the side and here, and like, now she gets the job, but no, you know what? There is enough out there for everyone.
I
Enough.
think it's
I'm telling you.
important. Thank you for saying that. And I think it's so important to celebrate and to really be happy for somebody because, as you
Yes.
said, women, I think it's also a thing with women, we've not been taught to celebrate each other that much. It's always been a little bit of a competition about the job. If there's not a lot of jobs that, women are qualifying or is
Yeah.
in a way that are available to you. But then
Mm-hmm.
second of all, also with men, you know?
Yes. Yes. Both.
And
Both.
it's always been like this competition. And if we can actively say, we don't want this anymore, we don't want the
Mm-hmm.
competition, like we want the sisterhood, the community, lifting each other up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I heard
Yeah.
this quote from Sheryl Sandberg like a while back, but she's, all about helping women and mentoring young women. And it's
Mm-hmm.
quite an intense quote, but it's like there's a special type of hell for women who don't wish other women well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that. Like, I think you if you are a woman who doesn't want other women to succeed, you need to look at that because
Yes.
we're a community, we're a sisterhood. And when I win, you win, right? It's
Exactly.
not if you lose, I win. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
win-win
No.
situation.
We are in this together. We are all on this planet. Like, at the end of the day, all is one, right? So,
Yeah.
as you said, when you win, I win. So let's celebrate. And like, actually, also here in the villa now, Anna, she just closed her first coaching client and her first coaching call today, and we were celebrating like crazy. I was like, it is so amazing. And I'm dating someone and she's, celebrating me for that. So she's more on the business side right now, and I'm on the dating side. And it's just like so beautiful and really being happy for each other. And I think also, even though you have these thoughts, maybe they're coming up, and you can also communicate it. Hey, you know what? I don't know why, but I feel like I'm comparing myself, right? And
Exactly.
you can also just talk about this
Yeah,
together. I think this is
exactly.
super powerful. At the end of the day, like, real sisterhood is not about being perfect for each other at the end of the day as well. Also with a man, there's no perfect man out there. It's just about being real and honest and just open, vulnerable as well, and growing together and holding space for each other in whatever period of your life you are right now, in all the phases. And so you don't have to do it alone. You do it together, even though it's hard. It's also love. Love at the end of the day can be super painful as well. But real love is like going through all the shit, but still choosing each other,
Yeah.
right?
I love that you're saying this. I think I have this thing with my friend, one of my closest friends, and we said, we are here to support and love each other. And it's so simple. It's so simple, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, we made this pact with each other. We're going to help each other grow. We're going to help each other support and love each other. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean there's nowhere does that mean I'm not going to make mistakes. I'm not, it's not going to be hard or,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say something that's going to be triggering for the other. No, it's
Yeah.
always about the intention is to inspire each other, help each other grow, and love each other. And that you put in the work.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
And then
exactly.
relationships are work. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I think
But
this
it's
is
worth it.
also, it is so worth it.
Mm.
And this changed also over the years for me. Like, I realized I want to put more work into my relationships that I already have. Also, friends back home, even though we live like a completely different life, but the love remains. And I want to put the work in and to make it work at the end of the day, because it's so worth it, like you said, because it's about the people at the end of the day, right? You can be at the most beautiful place on earth, But if you can't share it with someone, it's,
True.
so it's just so beautiful to keep on working also on female friendships and be also in this type of relationship vulnerable and open. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, my love. Any last words? Is something on your mind, on your heart that you want to share? Maybe what came up for you?
But just a big thank you. I want to thank you. I think, we're in this together. We've created this. We're still creating it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not always easy. And we have our
No.
busy lives. And
Yes.
I
Also
think,
today, right? It was
yeah,
also both of us, we have like a lot of on our plates, a lot of emotions, and we're both tired, but we were like, we're gonna do this.
yeah, and like to motivate and inspire each other, and to communicate openly, and to
Yes.
say if you don't feel good, or
Mm.
say what's on your mind. So just want
Yeah.
to thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you for that as well, my
Mm.
love. Really, like over the last month, I think I grew so much because of you and all your beautiful questions all the time, and really asking like, how are you? You really want to hear how I am. You know what I mean? Because we can just easily say like, how are you? Yeah, I'm good. How are you? Yeah, I'm good. Okay, bye. But it's like the question is like so much deeper. And I really want to thank you for that, like to really want to know.
I always want to
Right.
know.
I know. I always want to know as well, my love.
I'm a depth girly. I like to go depth.
Yeah. Oh, my love.
Thank you.
Thank you for this beautiful conversation. And girls, if you have any questions, any topics that we should talk about, if you want to reach out, please do so. If you have, yeah, any comments, like, comment, subscribe, share,
Exactly. Share.
and join our next residency, girls, in
Yes.
September. Oh my God. Sisterhood is about to become real
Oh, yeah.
even
Join. You
more.
find all the information in the bio.
Exactly. We will gonna link it in the description, so check it out if you want to. And we can't wait to see you in the next podcast episode.
Thank you.
See you. Bye bye.